Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and today we are joined by the legendary Eric Carty, the retired Hopkinton sewer and water manager. Well, you're semi-retired, but I hear you're still semi-part-time over there, helping them out a little bit. How you doing, Eric?
Doing good, Tom. Thanks. Yeah, I'm still helping out down here. Some of the paperwork and all the DEP reporting going on. There's just so much going on and so much involved. It's enough to keep several people busy. So I'm glad to help out, and I'm glad they let me help out. So,
That's excellent. Well, before we get to the weather trends, how's everything going at the DPW? Any updates you can give about how things have gone there this summer? It looks like they've been doing quite a bit of work around town.
oh yeah, as always, this time of the year is when all the work happens. There's lots going on. The highways had a lot of road projects going on. They've part of their pavement management plan. They've redone several roads. I think they did a few over in Valleywood. I think they got North Mill Street on the schedule. That's all. There's been a lot of drainage projects going on. Ash Street put in all new drainage up through Fenton. We were quite involved in that because they had to lower the water main in some sections, some services. So there was a lot of interaction through that job. Of course, the Main Street job that getting ready for final paving, a lot of stuff going on there. And then the Marathon School, we've been involved a lot up there too because there's been a lot of work with the widening of the road and relocation, putting in some new hydrants and some shutdowns of the main up there. And this time of year is always the line painting that the highway gets done before the school season starts, so that all the yellow lines, white lines are all brought up to easy visible coloring. So that yeah, it's been quite a busy summer, and as usual, this time of year, like I said, for us with the ongoing drought issues we've had, although we've seemed to get a little bit more rain, that's been causing some minor headaches for us, just trying to keep the water flowing here.
Absolutely. So are they all ready for school to start? What is it, tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Or
Yeah, I'm not sure when. It might be the next week. It might be next week. I'm not 100% sure, but everything's all geared up and ready to go for that. So, and we've got one more big project for us too coming up in the fall. We'll be doing rehabilitation of our old Grove Street tank that's up there in front of the schools. That one's vintage, same age as me, so it needs a little work like I do. So
it's terrific. So how's uh, uh how's your successor doing?
good. Yeah. Jed fit in well. Like he's been here a long time, so he knew uh, most of the stuff going. What's going on and what's the job entails. So I'm just here trying to help him out with like I said, the DEP and the paperwork side of it is just so involved now. There's just so many regulations and so many different types of things we need to do. I'm helping him out with that part of it while he deals with all the construction part and all the other parts that he has to deal with, and the regular everyday issues that pop up, and they seem to be getting more and more as the years go on. Our system's getting older, and there's more requirements, and with all the growth and construction, there's just seems to always be things that pop up around here. So keeps them busy.
Well, I guess it keeps you a little busy too in your
Yeah,
retirement life, it sounds like. So they're certainly lucky to have you to help out still from time to time. But hopefully you've been enjoying a little bit of vacation life as well.
yeah, I have. Yeah, and the other good news too, Jed was the assistant manager. We have a new assistant manager, Prince, who has come in, and he's been working out great too. He's taking over a lot of the projects that I used to do, so that's been a big help for Jed as well. So it's we're trying to get everything back up to speed and trying to catch up basically from all the new institution of regulations. We're always a step behind trying to catch up to get back to normal. So we're getting there closer and closer every day.
That's excellent. All right. Well, glad to hear that everything is going well over there. And uh, as many probably already know, you are a weather enthusiast, and you follow what's going on quite well. And I think you have some of the best predictions that I've ever heard. You're very good at it. So let's talk a little bit of weather. It's been a beautiful summer. The temperatures have been what, mostly in the 80s, 90s. I guess the only thing is we could probably use more rain, right?
Yeah, yeah. So let me just clarify one thing. I mostly pass along what I read. I'm not a meteorologist, and the predictions that I pass along to you are mostly stuff that I'm reading online. So can't take all the credit for that stuff. It's the
Well,
professionals do a pretty good job for the most part. So
well, you're more of a weather data analyzer. You take all the data
there
from the experts you follow and you come to a conclusion, and you do
you
it
go.
quite well. So that's why we like
No, well,
having you on
thank
to
you.
talk some weather.
So yeah, so we had, after coming off this winter, we had two major snowstorms of over 20 inches plus. And a lot of people are saying to us, well, didn't that help out our water problem with recharge? But unfortunately, we had such I want to say it was actually a normal winter like we used to have. Some people probably thought it was, way below average, but this is what winter used to be. Because it was so cold during those storms, the snow was so light and fluffy that there was minimal water content in there. So we got, even though we had two major storms over, 2 feet apiece, and then we had over 60 inches in total, we still did not get much recharge out of that into the ground because there was not a lot of moisture content in there at all. So that kind of kept our deficit running. We only had 1 month, July, which was above average for rainfall, which is the first time. I think it was a year ago. April was the last time we had a month that was above average in rainfall. So despite the recent rains, our groundwater levels are still pretty low, unfortunately. But the good news with that is, we've fallen into a pattern. They're calling it a super El Nino, which is basically a very warm pool of water off in the Pacific Ocean, just off the California coast, and that kind of feeds into where the jet stream uh, operates. So what that's supposed to do for this coming fall winter is give us a wetter than normal winter, but also a milder winter. So it won't be as cold as last winter, but that precipitation is which we could really use is supposed to increase. The other good news that with this super El Nino is that it's suppressed the hurricane season. To date, we've only had a few named storms, and there's basically been nothing that's threatened the East Coast here. The way the jet stream is going, there's a lot of wind shear from that El Nino, and that kind of breaks up any storms that want to get going. So it's kind of benefited us in that manner.
See,
So
this
that's
is why we like having you on. I haven't heard about Super El Nino anywhere else except here. So
yeah.
you get the inside info, folks. Uh, I would have thought with the way you were describing it at first, how it was going to lead to kind of a damper jet stream that maybe it would increase the hurricane season, but you're saying it has actually the opposite effect of that.
Yeah, just the way the winds travel and the way it forms the jet stream. It's more pointed out towards the Atlantic there and helps with that wind shear, keeping it from those storms from rotating, which basically helps them turn into a hurricane. So
Ah,
it
so
has held to date so far. Well, hopefully it holds.
so based on what I also heard you say though, it could be a wetter winter and a little bit warmer. So does that mean more snow potentially?
It could be, yeah. It's the being, we're going to be we're always seem to be on the line here in New England. So depending on what side we fall on, they're not expecting heavy snows like last year. So it's more on the rain side, but there could be some potentially wetter, heavier snowfalls than we definitely had last year, which for our case, that would be good for helping the recharge in the ground. Unlike last year, it was light and fluffy. This would be, more moisture laden that would help get back into the ground.
So you mentioned that the hurricane season is lessened because of all of this, but is there still a chance? I mean, because we're getting in what to the height of the hurricane season coming up here in August and going into September. Usually around the beginning of football season, you start to see some hurricane action. Could we be getting any kind of hurricane action, or is this really just going to just about almost totally suppress it?
No, there's always, this is the peak start right now for, the majority of the hurricanes start forming September 1st through the end of October. So, we can't drop the guard down at all because it doesn't mean that no storm will form, and it doesn't mean there can't be any strong Category Fives forming. So it just lessens the amount of them that could potentially get to that point. So we still have to be wary. We've been since Hurricane Bob, we're uh, been very lucky that we haven't had anything since then. That's a long time ago. I think it was 1993. I want to say 30 plus years since we've had one here. So we're treading on water here before we get one.
Well, we've had a couple of close calls. There's been some like New York and Connecticut, they've gotten some hurricane action, and we had a couple close calls, but yeah, nothing severe around here. And I always say we're due. I mean, because it's been so long.
Yeah, yeah. The odds are going to run out against us at some point.
All right. So, what do you expect the temperatures to do coming up? I mean, how long are we going to keep these? How long do you think we're going to keep these 80, 90-degree temperatures around? How quick before that fall cooler weather gets here, do you think?
So I actually was just looking this morning. So the kind of 10 to 12 day is uh, is warm, but not up as near the 90s, which is good. So it's still going to be somewhat seasonable through the middle part of September, and then there's a chance after that the pattern could break down and start to get a little cooler mid September.
All right. So about mid-September, usually when summer kind of starts winding down, but you never know in New England. I mean, I've seen early October have 90-degree temperatures at times, so quite unpredictable in the fall temperature wise, I would say.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
twice in the last 2 Octobers I can remember having the AC on, which never used to happen in October. And I distinctly remember these past 2 Octobers we've been running it.
you're right. Well, hopefully we'll be getting some rain. So, are you expecting a good amount of rain potentially this fall?
Well, that's with this Super El Nino. That's one of the predictions is that see above average precipitation, which like for our drive is welcome. I know people on vacation won't be happy about it, but for here down at the water department, we're definitely looking forward to getting that recharge in there and helping the wells.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get those water levels up because I know the whole area certainly needs it. That's for sure. Eric, I think that was a great summary of what to potentially expect. Let's see, anything else that you want to get out there about the weather or anything else going on you want to get out there?
I think we got everything covered most, I said we have that tank rehab coming up in the fall, and then probably late next spring, we'll be looking at doing some water main replacements. So it's always busy, a lot going on, and Jed's been doing a great job keeping track of everything, keeping it moving forward.
All right, well, that's terrific. And as you know, we got high school sports starting up soon. So if you're interested, we got a headset waiting for you. So maybe we can
All
get
right,
you out
yeah,
there.
I'll see if I can squeeze one in there.
All right. Well, Eric, thank you so much for talking with us. That was a great summary of what to potentially expect. And I learned all about the Super El Nino, which I've never heard about before. So it was nice to learn something new today. But thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Tom.